All right, peace, peace, peace. What up? First and foremost, hopefully, Most High in your house is blessing your day. By His mercy, you weren't consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house's body, and to our naturally live, man. I want to get into this, man, because and they arguing outside my house. I don't know about, but hey, listen, like we said, the video we made about another day. That's not mind your own business, huh? Nothing to do with that. But anyway, alive in the Most High in your house's body, and to our naturally live, man. And I want to get into this, man, honestly, man, because it's crazy because we just pulled up that clip about like love those that love you and worry about those that love you, man, and I showed the clip of Mack 10, the rapper Mack 10, that they used to be part of West Side Connection, a group out of that consists of Ice Cube, Dub C, and Mack 10 out in the back in the day, man, mid 90s and 2000s, but they was out before that individually, but they came together. But yeah, legendary group. But so it's crazy. But I'm saying this to say because they had a song called "Bow Down," and I was just thinking about this earlier in the shower about how the law and testimonies, because a lot of times too, like our ancestors, our forefathers, when they would actually come, because we live in a time period that Second Esdras 1 and 1 and 35 and 37. Listen, we won't see, one, the word is a miracle, but all the stuff that our forefathers see, like, we really want to see that. That's really the word, like, now. But, but our forefather ancestors, they actually saw angels, man. Because, man, listen, man, because you know what it is, too? It's not, like, I was looking at this in Genesis 28 yesterday, right? It's not, like, how they portray it on movies like Bruce Almighty, things in nature. One, if you ever encountered the Most High in your house shop. But two, if you ever encounter an angel, like physically will see something, you probably pass out. You probably be scared to death, man, because of how much glory and that is, how much power that is. So how much more, we said in the wilderness. That's why we wanted Moses us to teach us, man, because they said, listen, if he teaches, oh no, but anyway, that's just something. But that's just something I was just thinking about, man. That's why a lot of times that, in the word, our ancestors, our forefathers, when they saw angels, they would just be scared or bow down, man. But notice, I just want to go into how that goes into the law and the testimony, man, because not just an angel, just that whole concept of like bowing down, like the song West Side Connection. So I ain't hear that song in a minute, but I might listen to it afterward today. But notice how, we're going to see how, once the testimony came out with the gospel, that's, not, the case anymore, man. Because I thought that dichotomy is interesting, man. Let's go to Joshua real quick, man. Because, but also bowing down to a sign of respect and reverence, man. Because, we about to get that in 2 Samuel. And also, too, with Joseph, they bowed down towards him and any king, really. But that's just a sign of kingly, of royal etiquette, pretty much, man, and royal guidelines. But but we're gonna get this in Joshua real quick, man. Joshua chapter 5 and verse 14, because this is because I think, me personally, I think this is Michael, this is the angel Michael, but but it's not insinuated here, so that's just me. I speak as a man. Joshua chapter 5 verse 14, because this is where Joshua had his sword out, because one, man, that's why the video that we did a while back, man, when I touched on that scene in The Wire about staying on point, man. Because listen, man, the Most High in your house, I don't, that's why the word is so true, because it's real. He wants you to be on point, man, because don't get it twisted, man. You got to stay sharp out here, man. Stay on point. Head on swivel out here, man. That's why, even the word Sarek goes into be not confident in a plain way, just because you are somewhere. Because listen, I'm pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters have. I live in I live in the coast side. I live in the suburbs, but I also live in the illest parts of the hood. I live in the illest parts of Philly, West Philly, and place that nature, man. So yeah, man. So that's just neither here nor there, but yeah, let's get to Joshua chapter 5 verse 14. It says, and he said, nay, let's get this. Joshua chapter 5 verse 14. It says, and he said, nay, but as the captain of the host of the Lord, now I am come. Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship him and said, what saith my Lord unto his servant? So yeah, so Joshua, before, after he finds out this is the angel, I think it's Michael, because Michael's the captain of the angel of the Most High House's army, the angels. But that's neither here nor there. But But this is after that he he bows down to him, man. He falls flat on his face. And same thing with Manoah and Samson's father and mother, man. So like same type of thing. But yeah, it says when they encounter an angel, because it just says as they saw the Most High Yahushua. So yeah, man. But it says, and he said, nay, but as the captain of the host of the Lord, now I'm come. And Joshua fell flat on his face and did worship, and said unto him, what is the Lord unto his servant? So, and also too in verse 15, he says the same thing to Moses, like, take your shoe off. This is a holy place. But let's go to 2 Samuel 18 real quick. But this all goes into the law and the testimony. 2 Samuel chapter 18 verse 20. Well, it's crazy. The well was on my TV screen, like as a cover, and we talked about the Jonah yesterday. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm just looking right. 2 Samuel chapter 18 verse 21. It says, and then Joab said to Cushai, go tell the king and what thou hast seen. And Cushai bowed himself unto Joab and ran. So see, but Joab was had a hop. Like he was a captain of pretty much David's army, pretty much, and he had a high position in David's kingdom. So but notice how Cushai, he bows to him, man. So, but not only as kingly etiquette or royal etiquette, but but notice that bow again. And this all during the time, before the even testimony was out, man. But let's grab this 2 Samuel chapter 18 and 21. It says, then Joab said to Cushai, go tell what the king what thou hast seen. And Cushai bowed himself to Joab and ran. So see, yeah, it's kind of crazy because I'm even doing this too because it just even popped in my mind, this thought. And and I mentioned that song earlier, West Side Connection, Bow Down. I really might listen to it after this, but because it's crazy because my brother just left to California yesterday, so that's just. So that's just crazy. Yeah. I just gotta see if he landed. I think he landed, Lord willing, but yeah. But anyway. Yeah, but see, notice how that Cushai bowed to Joab. Now, not only is that royal etiquette, but, but yeah, that's just, let's get Acts chapter 10. Yeah, so let's get Acts chapter 10. This is what Cornelius too. But notice how this is the time of the testimony, the gospel is out, man. Notice how the dichotomy is different now. With that. Acts chapter 25 and verse Acts chapter 10 verse 25. And Peter was coming down, and Cornelius met him and fell at his feet and worshipped him. It said verse 26. But Peter took him up and said, stand up, I myself am also a man. So yeah, man, notice how Peter said, listen, and that goes into the Brother Chronicles Judah used to say that the comedy word in the word out the word being a fan, or the fanboy type of spirit, fan of another man, that because it's always good, like you said, appreciate another person, another man's another person. That's for anybody, for the gifts, but being that that's because don't get twisted though, because a fan, I get when people say it now, it's well, some people actually are fanatics, actual fan, actual idolaters, but fan means a supporter things, and so I get that, but actually being a fan like that, an idolater, pretty much a fanatic, no, that's a big, especially of another mortal or human being, man. I was just talking about this yesterday with my homie, man, how not the Brother Chronicles Judah used to always say too, how men aren't really supposed to fall in love, man. Don't fall in love with anything in flesh, or it's people just fall in love with anything in flesh. You're supposed to love the Most High Yahushua things on spiritual things, man. Because one, they change not. They're always going to be there, man. So that's why you cast care upon them, because they're the only constant in this life. So that's near there. But notice how, and also that's going to the humility of Peter, man, how the word was even in him, man. Because the angels, that's the word on earth as in heaven, that dynamic comes from. Because even, you know, even what we about to get in Revelation 22, the angel says the same type of thing, man. Like, you know, so yeah, man. But notice how it was different, because back then, like, you know, during the time period, Joshua, like, you know, that was like, you know, the law. But now it's like, you know, it was aspects of the testimony all throughout them, because Most High Yahushua is the spirit, like, you know, prophecy is all throughout the book, the witness, the testimony, the gospel, like, you know. But that was just like, you know, but now it's just like, you know, the fact that you know, that's out, the like, you know, the gospel's out there. So now it's like, yeah, you know, don't even do that, because what we're about to get. But anyway, it says, but Acts chapter 10 verse 26, it says, but Peter took him up. It says, stand up, I myself am also a man. So yeah, exactly, man. So let's get this in Revelation 22. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 9. And then he said unto me, see thou not, I'm no, let's start verse 8. It says, and I John saw these things and heard them, and I heard and seen, and I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel, and which shewed me these things. Then he said unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and I'm thy brethren of the prophets, of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship Yahweh. Exactly, man. See, that's where that, like, you know, that, and that's also too, man, like, you know, that having, like, you know, that like Hebrews 13:1, man, like, you know, that let brotherly love continue, because you don't know if you entertaining strangers unawares. And some have entertained angels unawares, man. So I also too, I think about with Tobit, like, you know, when Raphael was an angel the whole time, he had hit himself, then he revealed to be an angel. That's where that aspect even comes as well. But yeah, man, that as well, man. Also too, I want to go into this too, man, because, you know, I remember this, and shout out to actually her doing that, man, because, like, you know, because, you know, the whole, like, you know, and here's the thing, like, you know, of Satan's devices, because, like, you know, the whole, even like this, let's say this aspect, right, of, like, especially with our people, man, but just people in general, but our people, this whole gender war dynamic, man, that's part of Satan's devices, man, because they was really teaching you, like, you know, yeah, I was actually, no, I was talking about this with my brother yesterday, you know, one of my brothers in the war yesterday, man, because he's going into things about how, like, you know, his mom and things of that nature, but, like, you know, but really, I told him, like, listen, man, when majorities, because when, I ain't gonna go into details, but when majority of these women, where they in the word or out the word, like, you know, when they don't want to listen to a man, it's really like, listen, they don't hate man pretty much. Well, they probably do, but they hate the Most High Yahushua, really. They hate God. That's what it is. It's like the brother sent me first one to say, he said, man, you only need to get upset about that, because really they hate the Most High and Yahushua. They hate, like, you know, they hate God pretty much. They hate the Most High pretty much. That's just is what it is, man. So that's why it's like, you know, it's just it is what it is. And I forgot why I even brought that up. So yeah, man, they do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the whole gender war thing. Yeah, that's why, man, because when you see that, it's really teaching, like, especially, like, you know, because Jeremiah 6:2, I compare, like, you know, our people to a woman. It's teaching you to hate the Most High, man, pretty much, Most High and Yahushua, man, because when you get these, like, you know, because we talked about this in the past, like, you know, this whole, like, you know, the whole, like, you know, the whole woman thing's not listen, I don't need a man, pretty much. I don't need this, and men this, men that. Just pretty much, it's the same thing with the men. That's why the Most High Yahushua has that holy mirror, like how we treat the Most High Yahushua. Oh man, who needs a God and who needs this? I don't need. It's the same thing when women, they say they don't need a man, or they don't want a man. It's pretty much saying, like, you know, and saying, like, when the men say, oh, the Most High this, the Most High that, and scoff the Most High Yahushua. So that's just is what it is. I say that to say, man, because shout out to even because we know, I seen the commercial last night about the whole, and there's something about on my way to work, the whole Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese thing, and Steve Harvey. Yeah, Steve Harvey is talking about some because I'm not sure what RG3 said about the sister Angel Reese. I don't know what he said, but, you know, Steve Harvey's on radio talking about some bodies. Our brothers always said to tear a woman down and this and that. But my point being is that, like, the whole, and the one, I think behind the scenes, honestly, the NBA has been been paying for the NWA, but pretty much all the NWA is, honestly, like, don't get twisted, a lot of those girls, they're really good and talented, man. But all it is really the whole, even the whole, like, you know, feminist movement, things of that nature. That's like the Brother Chronicles used to say. It's the I wish I was a man movement, pretty much, man. It's the penis envy movement. That's is what it is. But that all goes back to, but that's all into prophecy, into like Jeremiah 31:22 and Isaiah 3:12 and the mother goddess worship. So that's all about that. But I'm saying I bring that up because like shout out to Maya Moore years ago, because she actually got married. I'm not sure if she's still married to her brother. It was a brother that was incarcerated. He got out. But you know, I seen a video a while back. I think the Brother Chronicles of Judah did a video about it years ago, and like, you know, once like she married him, but there was a video of him when he got out, or when coming leaving the courtroom, she got down on her or she got down and bowed to him, like, you know, as a sign of reverence. Now, here's the thing, like, and that's my point of me bringing all this stuff up, because I didn't mean to be long-winded bringing stuff up, but here's the thing with that, like, you know, honestly, like, because the word says, listen, wives, love your husband as you would love your house, I love the Lord. So, like, you know, so that, in that aspect, like, you know, I mean, me personally, I won't really recommend that, because you don't need to, like the angel said, listen, bow to Most High Yahushua. But listen, if she loves the Most High Yahushua that much, then okay. But me personally, I just won't recommend that. But honestly, but say if she, like, you know, you have a woman that does that, because you got women that do that. This probably was part of one, if the different nationalities or different nations, if it's part of their well, we don't have women doing so much nowadays, but like, you know. But, you know, you do have women that do that, but, you know, but especially I'm saying, like, in the word aspect now, even if you believe more in the word, it's a problem if they do it, like, you know, if like one, like, say if Yahushua was here himself and you wouldn't do that, now that's a problem. You don't bow to me, you bow to him. But, like, you know, if a woman would love the Most High Yahushua, that you know, way, and she bowed before, well, say if you in your house, like, hypothetically walk in the room, she bowed before him and bowed before you, I really won't have a problem with that. But really, I'm gonna recommend that, because I just thought about that when since we talking about this topic right now. I remember seeing that video, you know. And shout out to Maya Moore for that, man. Like, I'm not sure they're still together, but, you know, her, you know, leaving that, like, you know, and being, like, you know, being the wife, man. That's just, it is what it is, man. Like, not competing, but being a help me, man. Just like we're supposed to be help me to the Most High House Shop. But that's neither here nor there, man. But yeah, man, that's just is what it is, though, man. You know, that's just, yeah, man. I just want to touch on that, man, because how, you know, that dichotomy. Also, yeah, the Genesis 49 too. Because, yeah, like, let's get to Genesis 49. Because I was about to forget. Because this who you bow to, honestly, at the end of the day, man. But me personally, I don't, like, bow and stuff like that. You don't gotta, like, yeah, because we know Sarah called Abraham Lord, and, you know, God, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, a woman calling her, you know, her husband Lord, man, because that's why you're supposed to, like, you know, love the Most High Yahushua as you would your husband as you would the Most High Yahushua. So that's just neither here nor there. But yeah, Genesis chapter 49 and verse 8, it says, in Judah, thou art whom the brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies, and thy father's children shall bow down before thee. So yeah, man, every knee shall bow, like Philippians, man, because he tells you the end from the beginning. So that's why even the angels, shoot, you don't think that even angels understood that, man? So yeah, that's why even the angels said, listen, no, you don't bow between the Most High house shop, man. Like, you know, that's what the notes I was going to how the law and the testimonies of that, man. The law, during that time they would bow and stuff like that to angels, but now, like, angels and other men, but now, like, you know, there were testimonies out, they weren't doing that as much, man. Like, you know, but really that's a really sign of, like, you know, because our people we haven't been in power, so that we're not really, we don't really know power dynamics and like that, and also royal etiquette like that, man, because, like, you know, because we're one living in this Western world, especially here on this side, Esau's kingdom, like, you know, it's not really not like that, but, you know, but yeah, man, in other places in the world, it's just kind of like that, man. Even other places in the world, kind of not, but yeah, man. I just wanted to go into this because I thought it was easy. I thought this was interesting to go into, man. Hopefully this is edifying. Yeah, so thanks. Yeah, I think that was all everything. So peace.